I legitimately worked from 20 to 30, 7 days a week, 15 hours a day, every single day. Like, I took no time, zero. So do I wish that I took maybe a week, a year? I do. But it also comes back to your point, which is my biggest thing is, especially I always love when I'm in Europe, because Europe always has this funny, overlay. I was born in Eastern Europe. I grew up in the wine business, so I spent so much time in Europe. And Europe has a far more progressive point of view on work-life balance and things of that nature. For me, I don't care if you work 100 hours a week for the rest of your life or 4 hours a week. I think back to the energy that he was deploying, and I think I can relate to it. You have to be respectful of your ambition. I think the biggest issue I have right now is people need to be more self-aware of what makes them happy.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, being a workaholic is far more happiness than not. Like, to me, the process is my drug, not the stuff, not anything else. So look, you're so young, you'll be able to accomplish all of it. When people ask me what would I tell myself, sure, I think about spending a little bit more time with my wife before kids, with my friends post-college, but I don't regret it at all, because it was what allowed me to have that foundation. And I feel at 42 or 38, I feel like a kid. I feel like I can do a lot of things. They're different. There's different things when you're single with a family. There's a million different things. My biggest thing is you're not gonna know the alternative. The biggest thing about people looking backwards that I always try to tell, or when kids come to me or older people, they're trying to make a decision, I always try to remind them, no matter what decision all of you are gonna make, you're not gonna know what would have happened if you did the other thing. So I think people try to control things that are not controllable. I'm sure both will work out. Could you go, for example, let's say you leave here inspired by other people's questions or things of that nature, and you decide you're gonna take 2 weeks extra vacation that you would have never taken every year. In 11 years, you'll be like, I'm so glad I did that. Why? Because you'll have these incredible experiences in Ibiza and Egypt and in New York, right? What you don't know is maybe if you did work those 2 weeks, one of those videos would have changed everything, and all the other business and competitive things that you wanted to achieve would have been achieved, yet you didn't get it because you went on the fucking beach in Ibiza.
That is my problem.
And more importantly, you just won't know. You're gonna know what you do. You don't know what would have happened. Thoughts?
Yeah, and I don't think you need to be thinking like, what if? Like, the only thing what really matters is just be really thankful for yourself when you're doing whatever you're doing. That's the main thing, I think. And just say, thank you, Ronnie, you did this. And try to enjoy it, try to be present when you do your videos.
I think when you listen to this, that's, to me, the ideological, altruistic, good feeling that, by the way, I live that. I live exactly like that. I also answered with the actual practical thing. I think a lot of times when people get crippled by these questions that I think we all struggle with, they don't go to the practical part. Brother, you're not gonna know. So when you're not gonna know, and you can be thankful for what you do know, it gets real simple. And I just think people are spending too much time dwelling or looking backwards or debating on things that ultimately don't play out. So, I would go with whatever feels best at that moment. You feel like you want to take a vacation, take it. You don't. I think way too many people are playing by the rules of the current state of what's politically correct instead of really listening to themselves. People give me unlimited parenting advice on DM and email. They don't know anything. I'm like you. I don't share anything about my family. They have no context, none. But they have an ideology of how they see it. They think I'm working too hard. I respect that. I understand. I also know that so many of my friends who work 9 to 5, when they go home, they watch TV and work on their phone. So, quality, quantity, relationships, what my wife and I grew up with affected how we see it. Our kids, the age of our kids, my 8 and 5, there's a million different things. So I wouldn't beat yourself up. This this has a lot to do with decisions that my wife and I have made about the way I storytell my life versus the way I storytell my private life. I look at things in net gain form, right? For example, let's just, as a matter of fact, this is actually very convenient. Didn't even think about this, because I didn't really know the questions today. Let's just zoom it in, D-Rock. Let's just zoom in where I was this morning, because I worked out at 6, right? You tell me when, and you may not be able to pull it off. You think you'll be able to pull it off?
Can you hold it closer?
I can.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Yep.
Yep, and there we are.
Good. So look at this. Ha ha ha. I went to the kindergarten play today, right? I went to the kindergarten play. As a matter of fact, I was there half an hour early to be first in line at the kindergarten play this morning. And look at this stuff that I never share. And this one you're gonna have to blur out, D-Rock, because this is the point of the answer. But here we go. Let's just see the last couple of videos that were taken. Oh look at these videos. Look at these videos of, kids singing. Kids singing. Yeah, kids. My friends, here's what this one comes down to, and I have enormous amounts of empathy and self-awareness to why this question is asked all the time. And when I talk about 19-hour days, and when D-Rock and I and Stefan put out a day in the life video and it shows all this and nobody wants to envy it, I'm playing in extremes. First and foremost, when there are important events like this, the kind of things that my dad never came to because he set the foundation to it, I'm there. I'm at the play, I'm at the recital, I'm there. On weekends, I am all in, my friends, all in on weekends, right? I'm not playing 4 hours of golf like a lot of you. I'm not doing a lot of other things that a lot of people are doing. I'm all in on the kids, right? Then I'm taking, 7 weeks of vacation, which is probably in the ballpark of 4 or 5 weeks more than you, right? More than you, which is high quality time all in every second. And so yes, maybe I'm playing Monday through Friday, 40 weeks a year at an intensity that's different, but I have found my cadence, my rhythm, my balance with my spouse and my children predicated on playing it that way. And I'm finding a lot of quality time with them in these extremes. And so, I think I never judge or ask or tell anybody how to raise their family or do their thing. The other thing I've decided is, unlike a lot of my contemporaries and a lot of social media experts who I don't think exploit their kids on social networks, but I would say are intriguing about being so obsessed with getting likes and hearts that they know when they use their cute kids, they get more. It's kind of, I've been in many conversations sitting right here at conferences. I'm right here, but I'm listening always, because that's how I roll, and I'm doing my thing. And I've heard many people talk about strategies around how, put your kids in stuff, you'll get more likes. I'm like, really? So, I've chosen, my wife has chosen, we have chosen to, as you guys know, there are very few pictures or any kind of public pictures of my wife or my kids. It's just what's comfortable to us. So I'm very self-aware about the rationale to why people may question my ability to be a good dad or do my thing. The other part of this answer is, Misha and Xander are 3 and 6. This is the system, and they were 2 and 5 seconds ago, and as things evolve, as they're in softball and soccer and football and this and that, I'll adjust and my schedules will change. And, a big thing in 2016 I've been giving a lot of thought to is coming home every day at 5 p.m. for 30, 40 minutes to eat or bathe. And so I'll adjust and I'll try and I'll hustle and I'll work and I'll continue to always struggle with work-life balance given my happiness, my ambition, my selfishness around work. However, there are a lot more things going on here than just the things you're making assumptions on, rightfully so, given the content that I'm putting out. But that's why even that video we talked about and ended with, and big ups to Alex on our team to push this, which really made that video whole, which was, that's me, do you. And so I feel super cozy about the time allocation. I would also argue, my friend, about quality, because plenty of people that work 9 to 5 come home, drink a beer, watch TV, play video games, and spend, 6 seconds yelling at their kids to do homework. And so there's quantity, which, you know, I like to think I'm maybe playing a good game on extremities. And then there's also quality, like, you know, actually having a relationship, like actually having a conversation, actually spending quality time, actually looking them in the eye, actually. So.
Work-life balance.
Of course,
That
I'm
you
the one
shouldn't
I'm the
work
one
hard.
that gets picked on for that because the manifestation of me believing in hard work has been, you know, I say that I sleep 6, 7, and 8 hours and that nobody should do anything that doesn't make them happy, and that making $47,000 a year and being happy is amazing, and yet people want to make me the poster child of overworking and burning yourself out. I get it. I understand what happens once you hit a certain tier. I also understand that maybe I could have done a better job earlier in the process of my career in creating clarification. Thus, I'm okay with getting link baited into some of these conversations. But listen, I believe in work-life balance. I just think my work-life balance is different than yours. I also think that happiness needs to be thought about. And like, when you love what you do, like, this is my hobby.
You also have to know what you want, right?
Correct.
If you want to be a billionaire, you're not going to do it by just
and by the
sleeping
way,
all day.
let me say it one more time because I've got to clarify it all the fucking time. I'll say it for the 9,000th fucking time. The pursuit of trying to buy the New York Jets is my passion because it allows me to play the game that I love. I love being a businessman the way a lot of you love playing football, the way a lot of you love to ski, the way a lot of you love to read, the way a lot of you love to cook, watch Netflix, hang out with your friends. If given the option, besides garage sailing and watching the Jets professionally, forget about family, that's on a pedestal that nothing can touch. Outside of spending time with my inner family and closest friends, and outside of garage sailing and watching the Jets, there's nothing I'd rather do than work a 15-hour day.
You're self-aware, you know you.
And I always have. This is why I shoveled snow and did lemonade, and I washed fucking cars as a 7-year-old all day long on August 9th, because it's what I like. And I'm not gonna judge somebody who wants to work 9 to 5, be on 13 fucking softball teams and play fucking video games all day and make $42K a year. If she and he are pumped as fuck, they're equal to me, because I know a bunch of miserable fucking billionaires, and I know a lot of fucking happy 55K a years, and everything in between. So here's my thing. If you listen carefully, I'm only spitting 2 core things. You be self-aware and you make yourself happy and don't let anything other variables, you adjust to macro variables. And 2, this is what makes me happy. A lot of people are spitting their ideology on other people, especially after they've already accomplished something.